Welcome back to Unstable TV! And you're through to Irish Couple Reacts. And do stay tuned because this happens every week.
So if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of these videos. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you!
Thank you so much for joining us for another React El Mundo. So Danielle, what is going on this week on Unstable TV?
So this week we are going to be taking a look at India is becoming its own Silicon Valley.
So this was suggested to us by... And without further ado, we'll jump straight into the React.
Let's go!
Let's have a look at this. Like the real Hollywood type shots at the start.
Good morning all. So what is telemarketing? Selling products over telephone. Social graces. What are social graces? Good morning. Thank you. You want to do the inbound call, Upni? You say?
My name is Sayed. I'm calling behalf of Elik.
I'm calling you on behalf of Elik.
My name is Asha. How can I help you?
How may I help you?
Good morning. Welcome to Dr. Wellness. My name is Krishna. How may I help you?
Perfect.
That's a very American voice.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you do
Call
that?
center in Bangalore. Call centers were among the first outsourced tech companies to appear in India. And they're still here.
Good morning. This is Krishna. How may I help you? The location of BFW in Bangalore.
Call center work has been outsourced from America to India for decades. But this call center is different.
That's just America.
Because many of their clients are actually Indian.
When we actually looked at the growth of India, there were a lot of domestic companies that were actually, growing.
You decided to do just the domestic market, just companies that are in India.
Correct. And that actually did wonders.
The fact that Transact Global has found success by serving largely its own market is an indication of just how far the market has come. India's IT sector has evolved so far out of its call center beginnings
Yeah, it's supposed to be
that it's
huge.
now a $150 billion industry.
Oh well.
This is the
A lot of
corporate
money.
headquarters of Emphasis, one of the biggest IT services firms in all of Bangalore. Why did India emerge, and Bangalore specifically, as sort of the site for this kind of growth?
We've always had in India a fairly large STEM population, right? We've had a history of mathematics and science and engineering and medicine.
Yeah, that's true.
In the 80s, IBM was launching the PC, Microsoft was launching the desktop operating system, and computers were going mainstream. So there was an opportunity for the Indian talent to be taken to where the work was, which was the United States. As telecom infrastructure became more stable, that led to this development of the offshore services that provided a much faster way to write software.
Offshore services, I like the way you said it.
And then came Y2K.
Oh, Y2K, yeah.
That India had to face.
The problem was the Western world had written programs that couldn't handle 00 at the end. How do you make sure that the computers don't fail when they come across a 00?
And that's the year 2000.
That's the year 2000.
Some members of Congress are worried that the computer glitch will lead to dangerous problems on the world's infrastructure.
That's when a lot of our Indian companies that were young and nascent showed the world they had the ability to fix problems and do it in a way that you can actually afford to. And over the last 25 years,
that's good.
this has kind of become a massive hub for the global companies to build software that essentially runs the world.
Indian tech workers are a worldwide phenomenon, with 850,000 entering the global workforce every year. A
That is a
primary
lot.
source for this talent are the country's
Just a bit.
23 Indian institutes of technology. They're among the most competitive engineering schools in the world.
Yeah, definitely saying it.
As institutions for engineering education and research, modeled after MIT and Cambridge and other things.
So this is India's sort of best and
This is,
brightest
yes.
engineers.
People get in here and after they finish their undergraduate, they're sought after by all kinds of companies, Google, Facebook, the banks,
What are the most sort of popular or more competitive programs?
computer science.
Makes sense.
So it'd be hard to get into.
Yeah. There's a lot of competition. Wow, he
Nerds
hit
that are
that.
smarter than me. These kids all scored the best on the entrance exam.
Yes.
Right? So even better than everyone at IIT, these are the kids who are the best of the best.
Yes.
What is it like teaching them?
Very exciting.
I'd say so.
These kids is gonna
I'm very
maybe
brainy.
do something.
Very.
No, that's a good answer. I like Reese out there.
Their dream is no longer to work in the US. Instead, they'd prefer to innovate right here in India.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Make India more self-sufficient.
India's GDP. And there's a lot of emphasis on entrepreneurship and starting on your own.
This push towards entrepreneurship has become the primary focus, as basic software engineering skills are no longer enough. In response to this shifting landscape, a number of startup incubators have sprung up to nurture creative ideas out of mathematically built minds.
Science and technology are the backbone of Indian education. But if you want to go from a back-end coder to a front office visionary, you got to learn how to sell. So I've come to an incubator for startups called Commencement, which coaches would-be disruptors in the art of the pitch. How important is the pitch?
Pitch is the moment of truth. Just having an engineering degree is not enough. If we are going to build the business builders and the job creators of tomorrow, they have to think about the world as a market.
Hi.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. You need to think globally, not just locally.
To you both, we're coming from a company called Ocean Water.
Fix my gadgets.
Native bag, change pay.
A lot of gadgets are getting introduced to India.
Okay.
So how we are creating basically a customer convenience through this web portal.
We'll just go through a video walkthrough where you can understand how to pay using change pay.
Welcome to Paradise Hotel.
I would like to stay here for 2 days. Sorry, I don't have money. Do you accept?
So that's nerve-wracking doing pitches like that.
Oh, 100%.
You do this all the time, right?
Right.
What is sort of common about the sort of shortcomings of how people tend to pitch ideas like this?
Yeah, I think it's the big one is how do you tell a story? This is what you get from people who know too much. They've been an expert in delivering projects, making products in a very corporate environment. But I think we have to also come up with a solid business model which is innovative.
Hello.
You have to look at everything, not just one.
Yeah.
I'm Gopal. We are a music technology company that teaches, scales music education. It works very simply. I mean, you just put it in front of you and you start singing. And it tells you if your frequency is off or if you're off the beat. We show you detailed breakdown of how can you improve and you can track your progress over time. In India, you have so much diversity in music. And my motivation is to build a digital infrastructure for the Indian heritage.
This is cool because it's sort of like very culturally Indian things becoming potentially like a globally useful product.
But also, it takes a non-music person to figure out a new way
to do music.
Yeah,
right.
Because it didn't take a very social Zuckerberg to figure out the social network, right?
Right.
Stars in his eyes, as you can see.
For many of these would-be
That's why he's looking at them. Yeah, just blowing products.
Exactly.
Don't blame him.
Sounds like a product then.
Yeah, definitely.
who make up much of India's nascent venture capitalist culture.
I'm at a golf club in Mumbai, and I am playing around with one of the top VCs in the country. He's been named one of the 50 most influential business people in all of India, and he's funded some of the most successful online ventures that this country's ever seen. So what was your big first success back in India? Nice. Good job.
I was sitting in my office, met one of these sort of fellows who does the traditional matchmaking.
Like arranged marriages?
Yeah, it occurred to me that why not put this stuff up on the internet? And so that idea was born, and we started out with Shadi.com. There you go.
What were the next investments that you made?
About 2011, I met a young guy called Bhavish, and he was looking at raising some capital for an on-demand cab service through your app. And so I wrote him a check in 2011, and today, of course, the company is worth close to $5 billion.
Wow.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. You know, just a casual day.
Yeah, exactly.
Indians have tasted blood, and given the cultural advantages that India has in many ways, I think it's a foregone conclusion that Indians will drive the coming tech revolution. You're already seeing it.
That's true.
As India's tech sector grows more sophisticated, its entrepreneurs are becoming more ambitious, driving development aimed at saving our lives and the environment.
Oh, wow. I'm in like a operating room.
Oh my
Oh, I
god.
can actually see my arm. Oh, no, that's
Oh my god, you're using that to teach them how to do surgery? That's
Pretty
genius.
cool. Yeah.
You can do the complete advanced cardiac life support protocol, and you really feel that you're doing it.
Oh, well, oh my god.
Wow.
That's a thing. That's a real thing. That's a real thing.
That's crazy.
That is genius. Shout out to the Indians and the tech.
Focused on serving the world's economy, I've come to the garage of Altigreen, a startup that's trying to take a hands-on approach at solving some of India's problems.
In India, there are 1.2 million people dying early every year because of poor air quality.
So what do you guys do?
We allow people to take their existing vehicle, bring it into our place, convert it into a hybrid.
Aha!
At
Oh, that's pretty smart.
25% in fuel and 25% in emissions.
Sure. I mean, are you trying to compete with like a Tesla?
No. Tesla is still selling 100,000
As he's like, there's no competition.
It doesn't work for India. What we're doing here is we're democratizing the use of electric technology.
Amazing.
Entrepreneurship is exploding here, with over 5,000 verified startups currently operating nationwide. Projections are so good, in fact, that the blue-chip prospects who originally left India to succeed in America are beginning to return.
I understand that most of you guys studied in the US or lived in the US at some point. And so, like, why did you come back?
Look at populations in India, right? We are building something that could potentially be used by 1 billion people. And it's a lot like the Wild West. The rules are being made.
Bangalore is very, very cosmopolitan now. There are people from not just all over India, people from all over the world, people who've lived abroad and come back.
I had a job offer interest from Google New York, but I met some really nice people in Bangalore that time, and I thought that why not give it a shot.
So you gave up working at Google to come back and do a startup. Given sort of
That's crazy.
increasing
You would
amount
though.
Oh, yeah.
anti-immigrant feelings in the United States, did that contribute to your decision to move here?
You know, Trump coming to power has not been good for anybody. And I think
He just says I already straight up.
Well, guys, to Bangalore, to coming home, to making something happen.
To many, the future of technology doesn't lie in Silicon Valley, but in places like Bangalore. Recent evidence suggests that this is already happening, as emerging economies like India's make up almost 60% of global GDP, according to the
Crazy.
IMF.
Opportunities abound. In software, where all the value addition lies, is now our calling card as a country.
Bangalore is a city primed to emerge as a global leader in tech, with its nation's investment in education and innovation paving the way for a potential overthrow of Silicon Valley as the center of the tech universe.
You think Bangalore would ever overtake Silicon Valley as a center of engineering production?
Could.
Could.
What Bangalore's got going for it is the scale of India. It's like 1 billion people, right?
Yeah.
So even if you got like 1 out of 2,000 being engineers,
right,
you got a large population to pick from.
Yeah.
That's true.
The US and Europe continue to be the leading
It's got a lot of entrepreneurial potential.
of the global economy is seen to be moving east.
How did you guys like found companies?
When I was 10 years old, I was very curious in electronics and technology, so I developed a drone which can detect
Hello?
and destroy.
Go on, Dan.
Cool.
He's like, oh my god, how?
Yeah, them kids are amazing.
At least 25% of global ER&D spend before the turn of this decade. And that defines the age that we live in. And I want to congratulate all of you who have made this possible. The fastest growing segment in the entire IT BPM industry.
That's amazing. What did you think of that?
That was insane. What did you think of that?
I'm very blown away. They revolutionised in tech and science and technology. Like the amount of entrepreneurship skill just coming out of India alone and how innovative they are, I am just blown back by it. But a big shout out to the original content creator, and thanks again for the suggestion. We appreciate that.
It's great to see people that moved away to try and start a business, moving back
Yeah.
to actually starting it there.
And making India more self-sufficient efficient.
Exactly.
I love the way there's a lot of focus on making sure the culture gets global.
Yeah.
That's really good, and you can see the emerging and how they really are going to rise up.
I'm surprised they're not past Silicon Valley at this stage.
Like, by the sounds of it, it won't be long.
No, absolutely not.
I'd say after the time of this recording, it'd be well past Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
If not already.
14-year-olds starting their own businesses and stuff like that.
And we're struggling to make a cup of tea, like.
I could barely put my socks on at that age.
Yeah, exactly. Even the kids are even giving the adults a run for their money. Like, it's crazy to see what's going on over there.
The intelligence is just immense. It's not words, just insane to see, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, let us know down below in the comments below. Are any of you innovators? Are any of you working on technology that live in India, or anyone across the board? Are you starting up your own entrepreneurial venture, if I'm saying that correct?
Do any of you work for startup companies?
Do any of you have a more in-depth analysis on any of this? Do you have any more knowledge to share? Let us know what it's like in your country and what's going on. What's the biggest tech coming out now? What's everyone gearing towards? Where's the revolution really starting? So I think we'll leave you with that, with our 2 cents.
So as always, you are the beautiful people of YouTube, and we have been Unstable TV.
So drop a comment below and let us know what you thought of this reaction video. And if you have any suggestions for us to do, let us know too.
And as always, we will see you in the next one. Bye.